Suppose you're driving down the road and what should be a peaceful drive suddenly turns into a roller coaster as your car hits every pothole and rough patch. It's not hard to imagine this scenario because for many people in Pennsylvania, it's their reality. 36% of Pennsylvania's non-highway roads are in poor conditions according to the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation, more commonly known as PennDOT. Additionally, Pennsylvania faces a severe problem in the quality of its bridges, with 13% of them considered to be structurally deficient. In the wake of recent events like the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, people have been alerted to the fact that our infrastructure is not in any way safe. It's time for the people of Lehigh County to take matters into their own hand to improve the safety of the conditions that they are driving in so infrastructure disasters caused by our own negligence don't happen. As mentioned, Pennsylvania's infrastructure faces noticeable challenges due to much of it being in a state of disrepair. And while this has been recognized by the state and federal governments, the current solutions are not having the necessary and anticipated impacts. At the state level, initiatives like Act 89, the 12-year plan, and the Rapid Bridge Repair Act sought to repair over 6,000 roads and thousands more bridges. But much of this, from a civilian perspective, comes through as temporarily filling potholes or a constant cycle of road work. Despite the collapse of the I-95 overpass in Philadelphia in the last year, or the collapse of the Fern Hollow Bridge in Pittsburgh a couple years ago, transportation and infrastructure is still not considered to be a main issue by Governor Josh Shapiro, when there's no mention of it in this year's executive budget. Federally, the government cannot intervene into the quality of local roads directly due to the constitutional legality of them repairing intrastate infrastructure compared to interstate infrastructure. The first solution to this problem is through the use of earmarks and other federal legislation, like President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law. Recently, we've seen Pennsylvania gain $13 billion to repair infrastructure through this. And while your representative will likely only be able to get a fraction of that amount of money, anything towards this cause will work wonders on the quality of our roads and bridges. The second solution is through a major congressional push, possibly led by a Pennsylvania legislator, to revamp the Highway Trust Fund, which allots specific amounts of money each year to repair the national highway system, founded by Dwight D. Eisenhower. Through a reworking of this fund, so more money from the federal budget can be directed towards it instead of it gaining money through taxes, which will ultimately cause it to end up in debt, money could be channeled towards intrastate projects and greatly impact the quality of local and rural roads, fixing these small issues like potholes or repairing bridges on the verge of collapse. So, what can you do? Petitioning your legislators, like Representative Susan Wild on the federal level or Senator Nick Miller on the state level, to follow through with the aforementioned suggestions can hopefully catch their attention if enough people notify them of the issue. The future of our infrastructure is in your hands, and once the Lehigh Valley recognizes that infrastructure crisis that we're living in, it's only a matter of time before the problem is solved.